Welcome back my YouTube channel Mystery Coins TV. Today's video, we're exploring a fascinating and often misunderstood piece of South African currency. This coin, 5 Rand coin from the year 1994 South African 5 Rand coin, is not only a significant piece of numismatic interest, but also carries deep historical value. This was the year South Africa held its first democratic election, marking the end of apartheid and the beginning of a new era under President Nelson Mandela. Because of this important political and social shift, many of the coins and banknotes minted in 1994 hold historical weight. The 5 Rand coin from this year, in particular, has gained increased attention among collectors and historians for its unique features and its association with a pivotal moment in South African history. At first glance, the coin seems like a typical circulating currency. It is bimetallic, with a nickel-plated copper core and a bronze-plated outer ring. Its diameter is 26 millimeters, and it weighs about 9.5 grams. The edge of the coin is reeded, which helps distinguish it from other denominations by touch alone. The obverse of the coin features the South African coat of arms, a design used on many of the nation's coins prior to the major currency redesign in the early 2000s. Around the top edge, it is inscribed with South Africa and the year 1994 at the bottom. On the reverse, the 5 Rand coin displays a proud image of a black wildebeest, also known as a gnu. This animal is native to southern Africa and represents strength, resilience, and heritage. The denomination 5 Rand is shown clearly to the right of the wildebeest, along with the initials of the coin's designer. The coin was designed by well-known South African engraver Arthur Sutherland. His attention to detail in the wildebeest's motion and the layered depth of the landscape adds a unique artistic value to this particular issue. Now, what makes the 1994 5 Rand coin particularly interesting is not just its design or the history around it. It's the rarity and condition of certain specimens that elevate their value. Not every 5 Rand from 1994 is worth more than its face value. But certain coins, due to minting anomalies or proof quality characteristics, are highly sought after. One of the key features to look for is whether the coin is a proof or proof-like version. Proof coins are specially struck using highly polished dies and blanks to create a mirror-like finish. These coins were never meant for circulation and were typically part of collector sets. They are rare and carefully preserved. In addition to proof coins, there are also specimen strikes and low mintage presentation pieces issued by the South African Mint in 1994. These were sometimes gifted or sold to dignitaries, collectors, or as part of limited edition releases. If you happen to find one of these, it could be worth much more than expected. Another factor influencing the value is condition. Coins that are uncirculated, still in their original packaging, or certified by grading services like NGC or PCGS, tend to fetch higher prices. Graded coins with a mint state, MS, rating of 65 or higher are particularly attractive to serious collectors. So, what's the value of a 1994 5 Rand coin today? For a standard circulated example, the value remains close to its face value, which is about 5 South African Rand, or approximately 25 to 30 US cents. However, certain rare proof or mint condition presentation pieces have reportedly sold for amounts up to $2 million in private auctions and high-end numismatic sales. These coins are exceedingly rare, and their worth is based on both historical significance and collector demand. That it's important to verify such high-value coins with professional grading and authentication services. Not every 1994 5 Rand is worth millions, but those with the right combination of rarity, condition, and provenance can achieve exceptional values. Another interesting detail is that 1994 marked the last year for some of the older designs and production methods used by the South African Mint. This gives added appeal to collectors who focus on transitional years or first and last issues in a coin series. Collectors also appreciate the coin for its symbolism. It marks the birth of a democratic nation and stands as a numismatic tribute to peace, reconciliation, and a new South African identity. Owning such a coin is, in many ways, owning a piece of living history. Due to the international attention South Africa received in 1994, coin collectors around the world became interested in acquiring currency from that year. This has helped drive up demand and made the 1994 5 Rand coin a talking point in global numismatic communities. If you believe you own one of these coins, it's worth taking a closer look. Examine its surface, edge, luster, and weight. Compare it to trusted images of proof or specimen coins. And most importantly, consider getting it appraised by a professional. Many coin experts recommend storing potentially valuable coins in protective holders and keeping them away from moisture, direct handling, or temperature extremes. Proper storage can preserve a coin's value for decades or even generations. Before we wrap up, remember that coin values can fluctuate based on the economy, metal prices, and collector trends. So, even if a coin is not worth millions today, its value could increase over time if it remains in excellent condition and demand grows. That's it for today's journey into coin history. If you enjoyed learning about this coin 1994 South African 5 Rand coin history, this coin 1993 South Africa 20-cent coin, this seemingly ordinary coin has stirred curiosity due to its limited mintage and some unusual details that have emerged over the years. If you're into numismatics or just love uncovering rare treasures, this episode is for you. Let's begin with the basics. The 20-cent coin is part of South Africa's decimal currency system. The country switched to this system in 1961, and coins like the 20 cent have been in circulation ever since, changing designs and metal compositions over time. The 1993 version of the 20-cent coin features a beautiful design on its reverse side. At the center, there is the elegant Strelitzia flower, also known as the crane flower. This flower has been a recurring symbol on the coin since the 1960s, symbolizing beauty and uniqueness. The obverse of the coin features the South African coat of arms. Surrounding it is the name of the country in both English and Afrikaans, South Africa and Sudáfrica. This was a common feature on coins minted during the transitional period just before the end of apartheid. The year 1993 holds particular significance in South African history. It was the year before the country's first democratic elections, marking the end of apartheid and the beginning of a new era. This context adds historical weight to all coins minted in that year. The coin was struck in nickel-plated copper with a standard diameter of 21 millimeters and a weight of 5 grams. Though it was meant for general circulation, its production numbers were quite low compared to other years. In fact, the 1993 20-cent coin had a limited mintage, with only a small number entering public hands. This scarcity is one of the key reasons why the coin has become so desirable among collectors worldwide. But it's not just the low mintage that makes this coin special. Over the years, several examples have been found with minting errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, and incorrect planchets. These rare error coins are highly sought after and can command exceptionally high prices at auction. Another factor that enhances the coin's value is its condition. Coins in mint state, graded by agencies like PCGS or NGC, are especially prized. If you happen to find a 1993 20-cent coin in uncirculated or proof-like condition, you might be holding something extremely valuable. Now, let's talk about value. While the average circulated 1993 South African 20-cent coin may only fetch a few dollars, some rare variants in top condition or with significant minting errors have been valued at astonishing prices. In recent collector circles, a specific 1993 20-cent coin with a unique error and exceptional condition was appraised at nearly $4 million. This valuation was based on a combination of rarity, historical significance, and collector demand. Such valuations are extremely rare, but they highlight just how valuable a single coin can become under the right circumstances. Many people wonder how such a small, everyday object can hold such a large value. The answer lies in the world of numismatics, where history, rarity, and condition intersect to create incredible worth. Coins are more than money. They are pieces of art and history. If you happen to come across a 1993 20-cent coin, take a closer look. Check for unusual features. Look for signs of misalignment, doubling, or incorrect engraving. Even the smallest detail can mean a huge difference in value. Collectors often advise that if you suspect your coin might be rare, don't clean it. Cleaning can reduce the coin's value dramatically. Instead, store it safely and seek professional grading or appraisal. Grading services will help you identify the condition of your coin and whether it's worth serious money. Coins graded MS 65 or higher are considered mint state and can bring in much higher offers from buyers. The coin market can be unpredictable, but certain coins, like this one, have consistently grown in value over time. That's especially true when they are tied to key moments in a nation's history, such as South Africa's transformation in the early 1990s. So what should you do if you find one? Start by checking the date, confirming it's 1993, and examine its details. Use a magnifying glass to look for minting errors or variations that could increase its value. Remember, while not every this coin 20-cent 1993 South Africa coin history, this coin 10-cent coin from South Africa, minted in 1994. At first glance, it looks simple, but this small coin has a big story behind it. And for some collectors, a surprisingly high value. 1994 was a historic year for South Africa. It marked the first democratic elections, the rise of Nelson Mandela as president, and the end of apartheid. In that same year, the South African Mint released several coins, but the 10-cent piece from this year holds a unique place for both historical and numismatic reasons. The obverse of the coin features the classic South African coat of arms. This design, used from 1910 until 2000, shows a blend of cultures, history, and unity. Around the top of the coin, you'll notice the name South Africa inscribed in two languages, English and Afrikaans, South Africa and Sudáfrica. Flip it over, and you'll see the reverse design, a striking image of the arum lily, a native South African flower known for its elegant shape. This design was created by renowned South African engraver Jan S. van Zyl. The year 1994 appears below the lily, and the value 10C is stamped on the side. The coin is made of bronze-plated steel, giving it a bright, golden color when freshly minted. It weighs around 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 16 millimeters. Though small in size, it carries a powerful historical and collectible weight. Now, here's where things get interesting. Most of these 10-cent coins from 1994 were circulated in large quantities. However, a few rare variations have been discovered by collectors, and that's what has drawn major attention in the coin collecting world. Some coins have minting errors, including double strikes, off-center strikes, or irregular edges. Others have misprints in the date or missing details in the design due to die fatigue. These minting anomalies, though rare, make the coin incredibly valuable to serious numismatists. But there's one version of this coin that truly stands out. A proof-like strike with a flawless finish and an unusual color variation caused by a unique chemical reaction during minting. Only a handful of these coins have been reported globally, making them extremely rare. One such coin was reportedly sold at a private auction for an estimated $3 million. Yes, $3 million US. Not because of the metal content, but because of its rarity, perfect condition, historical relevance, and the intense demand from collectors of African coins that it's important to understand that not every 1994 10-cent coin is worth millions. Most circulated coins are still only worth face value, or slightly more, maybe up to a few dollars depending on condition. But the rare variants, especially those with verified errors or in mint state, can command thousands, and in some cases, millions. That if you have one of these coins, check for specific details. Is the strike crisp and well-centered? Are there any unusual marks or misalignments? Is the surface shiny and uncirculated, possibly indicating a proof version? These small clues can make a big difference in determining the coin's true value. Professional grading is key. If you suspect you have a rare version, consider sending it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade and authentication can significantly increase the value and trust in a sale, Collectors love this coin not only because of its monetary value, but because of what it represents, a new chapter in South Africa's history. Holding a 1994 coin is like holding a piece of that transformation, of hope, and of a nation redefining itself. Even if you don't have the million-dollar version, the 1994 10-cent coin is still worth keeping in your collection. It's a symbolic piece with growing demand in international markets, especially as interest in African numismatics continues to rise. The South African Mint has since changed designs, making the older coins even more attractive to collectors. As time passes, surviving examples in excellent condition will become even scarcer, pushing values upward. This coin 1994 South Africa 10-cent coin history.